Hello, I'm Tim Boiteau, author of Molting Season. Today I'm going to read to you The Trade by C. Winspear, illustrated by Arthur Bowling, available in Writers of the Future, Volume 36, which is out now. It was the best view humanity had to offer, but I still felt unfulfilled. I held my camera a few millimeters from the zenith window of the International Space Station's cupola and gazed down at what had become the common sight of Earth hanging beneath me. From up here, you couldn't tell that the planet was heating up, or that the nations had nuclear ICBMs pointed at each other. I zoomed into clouds and continents and snapped shot after shot, hunting for something in that arcing landscape of blues and whites, maybe angels. Whatever it was, I didn't find it. I stood on top of the world, but today the view made me feel uneasy. Odd. Maybe I'd feel better if I was over the moon. I swung the camera around and snapped my daily selfie. Husband tax, Oleg called it. Sometimes I felt bad for not missing him as much as he missed me. I checked the photo and grimaced at my unruly zero-G hair and the wrinkles under my eyes. At least my smile looked bright and cheerful, convincing enough even for Oleg, who should have known better. My unease remained, a silent siren of discomfort in the back of my mind. What was the problem? It couldn't be vertigo or fluid shift. I'd adjusted to all that. I glanced out the port window at the space station remote manipulator system, the station's huge Canadian robotic arm. Wasn't the SSRMS supposed to have moved along by now in its survey? Ground must have found something. Maybe I was anxiously anticipating their call. Or maybe I felt uneasy, because the magic of space had already become dull and routine, as if the majestic sight of Earth from orbit was no more special than the view out of my old kitchen window. I'd made it up here onto the ISS, and yet after 2 months, this amazing life in microgravity no longer produced any sense of thrill or achievement. What was wrong with me? My name, Lena Sokolov, would be engraved in the lists of early astronauts, glorified for as long as humanity survived. But that wasn't enough. I wanted to go to Mars. I wanted to go to Alpha Centauri. I wanted to be immortal and to lead the disheartened human race into a more optimistic future. Even then, the unknown thing I hunted with my camera might still remain out of reach. I glanced again at the photo, and my unease heightened alarmingly. In the background of the image, the stars looked wrong, too bright. I turned to the bow window and noticed what my subconscious had picked up half an hour ago. But I couldn't believe it. The stars weren't skewed or faint. There had to be something wrong with my eyes. My consciousness, unlike my instincts, possessed incredible powers of denial. Only after a few minutes of blinking and experimenting with the camera did I accept what I saw. A transparent wall hung past the bow of the station, stretching and skewing the stars beyond. A wall or a hull. The effect reminded me of those incredible deep-sea fish that could change their skin to match the ocean floor beneath them. Something gigantic had camouflaged itself and crept up on us, coming to rest outside our main docking adapter. I glanced back to the SSRMS, which remained stationary. Had the transparent thing also cut off our communication with the ground? "Lena, Node 2, now!" Yuma's scream reverberated through the station. I pulled myself down, gripping blue handle after blue handle, turning at Node 1 and throwing myself down the US module Destiny. Yuma floated ahead of me at Node 2, looking out the hatch window. The walls shuddered. My unease turned to panic, then to excitement. At last, something interesting. Something we hadn't trained for. "A vessel's trying to dock," Yuma said. "Radio's jammed. Are we being invaded? Where's Nat?" I looked through the little circular window of the hatch. I couldn't see anything outside. At first, this disappointed me, but then I remembered I should have seen stars. Something was out there, blocking the view. "Natalie, no, too!" Yuma shouted. Then he whispered to me, "Who could it be? The Chinese?" The wall of camouflage I'd seen from the cupola covered a gigantic volume, enough to contain all the satellites and shuttles ever launched from Earth. "Not human," I answered. "What?" The hatch clacked. You want to find out what happens?